bread and cheese. It never disappears.
So I found out that Trader Joe's does string cheese, but instead of being like regular mozzarella, it's the fresh mozzarella. Yeah, and I was like, well, I've already eaten half of it.
Say hello, Internet.
Hello.
Well, you tried to call Rabbit, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. I'll text her to let her know we're live.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how much of my body that just saw, but
Oh, no, it was all of it.
okay, fine. I'm always in this corner where they only see my
You were
hands,
all up in
so.
the shot.
Because right now you can see that I'm helping with my house renovation thing.
That's right.
My mom wants me to choose all the colors and I document and preparing now. In fact, there's a key tomorrow.
Sometimes when I tickle Sasha, she makes that same reaction. Just saying.
That sounds dirty.
Did you tell Lisa the new name I gave her?
Oh, yeah, I showed her.
Yeah, okay.
You can share it with the rest of the class if you like.
Oh my god, this is the first time I finally
And
remembered
Everlasting
this.
Chunk Stuffer.
I found this like a long time ago.
Oh, nice!
And it was in here the whole time, and I figured, well, whenever I charge my phone around here, then I'll remember to give it to you. But the first time it happened, and you were still here.
Woo!
Oh.
I have a Tinkerbell mug. If you want it.
No, we're good up on mugs.
If I didn't have a bajillion mugs, I would take
Well,
it.
technically,
We have an
it
embarrassment.
was mine, and I let Steven have, like, I didn't take it with me when I moved out, so technically now it's Steven's, but
Gotcha.
I like stealing things from him, so.
That's fair.
I forgot to ask before we got started if we wanted to set a date.
Or,
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, for.
Oh, yeah.
For the
Well, we were waiting for a rabbit.
Right. But Rabbit is now answering, I think. Okay, yeah. Calling soon.
Okay.
Well, tough titties.
All of my weekends are, like, my first 2 weekends of December are completely.
Let me get my thinking cap on. Hold on. Okay, there we go.
That's right.
But the 15th and the 16th, I have totally open.
Just the Gene thinking cap.
So not next weekend because apparently we're going to Heroes and Villains.
I mean, we'll still be. I think we'll still have game night.
Yeah, we can do. Yeah, we're gonna have game night. Yeah.
But I would prefer not next week. But I was
Yeah,
just sort of
because
like,
that gives us more time. We need more time.
yeah, no, I need a little more time.
Amanda will be here until the 14th.
Right.
What is your?
And I
Yours
think
is on Saturday. What Saturday is yours?
Mush mush.
the plan was to.
Oh yeah.
8.
Yours is on the 8th.
Friday?
No, it's a Saturday. Who's on a
I have
Saturday?
something on the 8th too, so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's a little
And
close.
then I
anyway.
have,
Yeah.
And I'm basically going to be going to 2 parties.
What's
My
the
family Christmas party is on Saturday the 15th, but all my Sundays are still open.
What day are you going to?
We're going to the Dickens Fair on the 16th.
Okay.
Yeah, Amanda?
But that's like not going to be in the evening, is it?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't want to do that weekend just because Lisa's gonna want to cook something and then
Yeah,
I don't want to feel
Yeah,
rushed to cook.
I mean, I'm taking the day off of work that day, so there's a and I'm taking my friend Natasha because her birthday is in December. So I was like, oh, I want to take you to this thing, and we never really go out because she's like 4 fucking kids.
Yeah.
So like, so I know I want to like spend time out with her. So I don't know when I will be back in time to do things, and I don't want to rush. So it looks like the 23rd is still pretty
Just
open.
the
I won't
Sunday.
be here.
Oh, you won't be here.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can still do it after. Like it's
The
just a
30th?
celebration.
You want to push all the way to 30th?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
30th is good for everyone?
Okay, let's do this. Why don't we aim for the 16th to have gifts ready, and then I will, and then we'll just wait for our food for the 30th.
Oh, we'll have the shindig on the 30th, and then we'll do gift exchange.
We can do it all at once. It doesn't matter.
On the 30th?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're fine. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
30th it is.
Okay.
You know? Cool. And then some of us might even use
I'm
our
off most of them.
I would say the 30th, I will most likely be in Morgan Hill again because Natasha usually takes off. So it'll probably be at the Morgan Hill house.
That's fine. Do you care if we bring extra people
What's extra people?
for the holiday?
What's extra people?
maybe
Possibly Annalisa.
That's not bad.
and maybe J-Rom.
That's fine. Those are extra people.
Well, I mean, if it's a Sunday, then he's gonna be.
Well, you know, that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they aren't extra people.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Coolio.
Cool beans. 30th.
Alright,
It's buttoned in the wrong button.
I know.
what budget are we doing?
Ooh, 20. Didn't we do 25 last time? Because that's $19.99 plus tax.
25 sounds good.
Cool bean.
Okay.
All right, and then Sally's got the name thing set up, so she could just send it. Right? Get a little email.
Yeah. Yeah.
New Year's one gift exchange extravaganza.
Yeah.
That's the proper voice for that.
Yes, I know. I'm spending a lot of money for home.
Wow,
Don't you hate
they're
that?
yelling at you.
Well, it's just all the Bank of America being like, your card was used online. Your card.
Well,
I know.
Called a holiday season, Bank of America.
I mean, I'm buying stuff for myself, but it's still for Christmas.
No,
Still the holiday
yeah.
season.
Yeah. I'm taking advantage of fucking Black Friday deals
Yeah.
without
Oh,
leaving
yeah.
the house.
Yeah, phone. If you knew so much, you should realize it's also Black Friday, and I'm gonna be spending $10.
And
So
to be fair, I was very restrained. I only spent like $150 altogether.
Same.
And some of that was on Urban, so.
What's Urban? You mean like Urban
Decay.
Outfitters?
No, Urban Decay.
Oh, Urban Decay. Yeah, they were having their friends and family.
and I've been needing that new phone for
I
anyway.
spent about that much, but it was
What'd you get?
Party.
I got a couple eyeliners and a palette, an eyeshadow palette.
Did you get the cherry palette or the heat?
No, I don't. They're too red.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh.
fuck with red shades because
Gotcha.
yeah, because I pink already. At best, I'll use a little bit of pink, but not enough to. I mostly wear blue and green eyeshadow because. So I got the Troublemaker palette, which is like a tiny palette that was already on sale anyway.
Yeah.
And I think it comes with like a sample size Troublemaker mascara, which I discovered works better than the actual size Troublemaker mascara because I bought both.
Weird.
And I spent more money on the second one because it's the full size one, and I don't like it.
I'm all about the travel size ones. I know like cost wise, but you're supposed to throw them out after a year anyways. And I figure if I use it regularly, then it lasts about a year.
Yeah, because I got one of the like travel ones because I wanted to test it out, and I was like, well, I'll just go with like these ones because they're basically like a sample size.
Yeah.
And I got it, and I really liked it. I'm like, it was really nice. And then I bought the full size one. And I don't know if what's going on with it, but like it's way chunkier than it was when it was the travel size one.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Pass.
oh, well. Oh, and then I bought 2 skirts and a top on ModCloth because they were having a sale.
Just we need
Clothes?
we're shopping for clothes too. And we always forget around the wrong time.
Yeah, Sue's having a celebration.
Oh,
Who is?
No, Lupetia.
No.
The tea place that I get most of my tea from.
I miss when there was one in Valley too.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
They know.
I know, we got jeans. I consider that
They
something.
We
had,
did. We got jeans.
they used to have this like chocolate covered strawberry tea. It tasted exactly like a chocolate.
I mean, it's just in Mitsubishi Market now.
I know, that's
The Me Too market's always crowded.
Yeah, hella crowded.
My weekend's Monday, Tuesday, so I don't understand what you mean.
Whatever.
Yeah, it's true.
My therapist works like a few
I mean,
might as
blocks
well.
down.
Lives in
she
the
lives there too.
Probably.
She lives in the Mitsubishi.
Yeah.
Her
I am
office is
so
a couple
jealous.
blocks down, so every Wednesday I'm there.
Nice.
Right by that
Oh,
ramen place.
if anyone, we'll see if anyone tries to cyberstalk me. But guess what? my plate got approved. I'm gonna be rocking a Weebaroo vanity
Nice.
plate. It's
It finally got
speaking of
through?
Mitsuha.
Yeah, like it took forever.
I'm gonna go pick it up on Thursday.
I don't want to answer
Awesome.
these questions.
I'm gonna be like, look at that fucking nerd plate.
I'm
wonder-
just clicking, I want to be surprised.
I know, but it's still asking me for like hobbies and interests. I'm like, you all know. I don't want to
Yeah,
know.
like, you fucking know.
Yeah,
I put that too.
right.
I'm
I
just
wonder
gonna-
whether or not it
But
will
you all know.
compete.
Yeah, all I did was
Or
continue
surpass.
with it without filling anything out.
Yeah, I want to go to the group day.
I'll let you
gotta
guess
set up the
whether I'm a
rules
man
here.
or a
The
woman.
rules of engagement. This is a fucking Geneva Convention. How
Yeah.
cutthroat this is gonna be.
But how do I get?
It'll automatically draw once everybody.
Oh,
Yeah, once everyone
everybody
Oh, I'm
joins
fucking it up. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's all your fault, man.
Tell Rabbit to get her shit together because some of us have shit to do apparently.
Yeah, we're waiting for Amanda.
Hey,
JC,
Lisa.
and Tony.
Yes, dear.
Yeah.
We need to figure out when we're going Christmas tree shopping.
Yes, we will. Did you get an
Or if we all
email
want to pitch in on a
from
black tree.
drawnames.com from Sally? Just got sent. So yeah.
Boozilla just sent out.
Okay, what is it?
I don't know. I'm looking at this thing instead that you're supposed to be looking at too because apparently it doesn't work until everyone joins in.
Okay, I'll be right there.
Okay.
I want to be surprised.
That's all of us.
Ah, Jesus. Ooh, yeah.
Tell me that lumberjack mermaid last year was not a surprise to me.
It was. It did things for me.
It was super.
It gave me emotions.
Rhea has made the like cat pillow
Mhm.
that you got me a couple years
Oh,
ago.
yeah,
That
yeah,
is
yeah.
now Rhea's
Better.
favorite place to lie down.
Perfect.
So it's like not a permanent, just like a dent in it where she always sits.
That's
We were
amazing.
using it as like an actual couch pillow, and then Rhea decided that it was hers.
Yep.
As a good citizen, I'm good to have contributed to her rule in some small fashion.
As a neighboring country,
That's right.
nice to have sent a peace offering.
The following people need to join the group. Amanda.
She's actually not here.
What are you laughing at?
Yeah, it has the guilt list.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's the only one left.
We're all just watching it
Was
like
I
hawks.
with you and Jess when I was laughing so hysterically it was ridiculous?
Probably.
It was quite recent.
No, then probably not. Oh shit. Okay. All right. Yeah,
What?
Shit.
we're going. The party's the weekend before the actual before Christmas, so. It's like, okay. Boozilla's Holiday Bash. Yeah. Boozilla is a old ass Chihuahua. May she reign for several more years. Who is the pet of some of our theater friends from the like Broadway West Shakespeare circle. Food drive.
I hope you're as
Ugly
riveted,
sweaters.
internet.
I know
I
this is
know.
quality content.
So Broadway West closed,
Yes.
and in that building, which is like right down the street from my house now, it's like an improv
Oh.
troupe, and it's called something really shitty,
Oh
like
no.
pretend theater or
Ah.
like make believe theater. Come learn improv, and I'm like, ugh, I want to burn the building down. Like I know exactly the dudes and maybe like one girl, but the dudes that hang out in that theater now, and I want to punch all of them in the throat.
I can picture them in my mind's eye.
Like I have a bunch of friends from high school that like
Oh, try.
that ended up doing improv, but they like moved to LA and joined the UCB and like did improv like
Right.
real people do.
Right.
But the kind of guys are like, oh, I recently got into improv, and I'm like, please walk away from me.
Please don't breathe my air.
It's basically so they can put it on their OkCupid or whatever.
Yeah, no, or it's so that they can like talk about it at parties and be like,
Yeah.
Oh, is that the new guitar guy? Is that what that is?
Oh yeah, basically I'm the,
Guitar guy.
yeah, the
musical.
improv guy. I've recently really gotten into improv. So like, you really just have to like learn to say yes, and it's been really life changing. And I'm like, oh my god.
Like you can say yes to yourself.
Oh, yeah,
So wait,
that
so
is-
this is the male equivalent of those live, laugh, love yoga people?
Yeah.
I have literally unfollowed everyone on my Facebook who posts inspirational quotes. Like I can't fucking do this shit.
Oh, is that what it takes? Sick.
Yeah. Like every time I see an inspirational
Darkness.
quote,
Stop trying
I'll
to
start to
inspire me.
read it thinking it's gonna be funny at the end, and I'm like, no!
Mine are all the ones that I end up posting usually involve like inciting you to murder.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like I want the ones that are funny or like
Have you seen this Hampara
when life
one?
gives you lemons, you should make lemonade, then pour it down your enemy's anus.
It's like a
I want those. I'm like, that's what I want. But it's never that.
This
Make
one,
sure it's good and raw first.
this one
Do
is
it.
one of my favorite ones currently.
There's a lot going on right now.
He's just bringing it back at the end.
But it's Hampara. It's adorable.
Murder. That's okay.
You're shitty.
Yeah.
That's not true.
You just
Tony, how could you?
went back.
I'm a horrible person.
You joined the Speedy Centaur.
One of my coworkers, super quiet princess, wants to get me a shirt that just says mean. And I'm like,
I mean, it's not wrong.
no.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Not
I
inaccurate.
yeah, sometimes yeah.
Of this country.
I'll just torment her because
Most of the time, it's mine.
she has
Right?
made the
Who's
mistake
stopping you? Like, oh, here's.
of identifying me as a friend.
Because I've got my boots on.
And so has exposed part
You
of
want to
her,
steal too,
her
so
tender
that's fine.
underbelly, and so every so often I just have to be like, claw, claw. I'm sorry, you're a friend. It's so I'm working through some things. Like your hide.
So how's the snow?
It's snowing.
Midwest snow is not like California snow.
Well, she's running out there in a winter wonderland with her boyfriend or some shit. So
Yeah. Ask
fun.
this
Midnight
one.
It's
fun for a while.
Hooray!
Yeah,
Within
ask
half
this
an
one
hour,
how
the
that
names
works
will
out
be
for
drawn.
Yeah.
So we'll all get
It's
our
fun for a
names.
while, and then
For the first 20 minutes.
it's fucking like April 3rd, and you walk outside and it's like another fucking snowstorm. Like, I'm done. I'm done.
I still like it, but then that's probably because I don't live there now.
No,
Yeah.
you get to visit it once
When
every
you
2
live-
years.
Yeah, when you live up there, you realize why Canadians
Are surly.
complain about weather.
The second national sport.
No, it's
After
the
hockey.
third because there's lacrosse.
And nobody plays it. We just tell that. We just tell that to outsiders.
The one time,
To make sure you're
the one
double
time
tough.
we've been out to Jaren's parents' place in Michigan was right. We were there for Super Bowl Sunday, so it was February, and it only actively snowed that day. And I was like, "It's snowing! Oh my god!" And they were
They're
like,
like, you're from fucking California.
and
Fuck
they
you.
were like the collective groan of like,
Right.
and me being like, "It's so magical!" Like, I don't live where it snows.
Right.
Because I
And
don't
we
hate
got-
myself.
Right? And then we got home and it was like clear blue skies, like 70 degrees. And I was like, it was nice being in Michigan, but it's so nice to be home. And at this point, like his entire family had like friended me on Facebook, so I made sure to post it where they could see it.
Right. I used to walk to work back when Sally first moved in with me, which is, when I would get to work, everybody had the same uniform, which is your boots covered in gross gray brown snow, and then your pants wet.
Yeah.
All the way to the
and then
knee.
your shoelaces are all calcium-y.
Yep, that's right.
That's why that new Grinch movie trailer where they're just trying to be sneaky and it's just cronk, cronk, cronk. I'm like, no, fucking true. Fucking super true. He's like, this is the loudest snow ever. I'm like, because it's snow.
That's right.
That's exactly how annoying
Not
it is.
fucking like ski powder.
No, yeah, not made out of a machine.
That snow is good when you want to go sledding. Like that
Yeah,
March
because
snow.
it just slops
When
just
it
a
just-
little,
Yeah.
and you get that first rut. You have to push yourself through that first rut.
Or it crusts over.
But
and
once you
you're
get
like-
that first track down, zoom, oh yeah.
You're like, it doesn't matter if this thing has a steering.
no,
Now we are getting down by the grace of God.
That's
There's
right.
no control
so
whatsoever.
good.
I've never actually ridden on like a sled.
Oh,
I've been on like
It said
the
that
a toboggan?
No, the round-
Oh, saucer.
yeah, the saucer thing that you slide down.
So they'll email
But never in like a legit
Mhm.
sled.
Well, see, this still indicates toboggan to me.
Yeah.
Me sleds have handles, but only because they were trying.
Well, it was like ours were like trash can lid shaped with
Right.
just like some
Well, this
extra
is
grip.
Yeah,
just
those
saucer,
are the
yeah.
ones that I've been
Yeah.
on.
The UFOs.
Which are a good ride. That's
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah,
You
to go
start a
close.
good spin on that, and
Yeah.
then you're like,
No, I had a Zippy Whomper, which was a plastic boogie board, effectively. And that thing was built right. Like it had thick runners, and you go down head first because you want to make sure you hit your noggin on that tree, dead center.
Absolutely. We had the popular ones when I was growing up. We used to call like tri-skis, which is basically like it's like a bench, like a seat.
Mhm.
You have like two skis
Oh, Jesus.
on the side there, and
Wow.
then you have like a steering with another ski. So it's like a snowmobile without an engine, right? It's just bare bones. But this shit, like, you take spills on that. My dad would come with us, but he would take like the old ass toboggan, like just the curved piece of wood with
Nice.
chains. And he would go with my uncle, and one of them would just stick his knees like in the curve
Yup.
and hold both chains, and the other like standing up.
Yup.
He would like get fucking nosebleeds and like just all fucking cut up and shit.
And then you're like,
"Ah, do it again!" Yep, the fucking best.
yeah, my only real interaction with snow was when I was like 4. So
My parents were like obsessed with skiing for like a minute because white people.
well, we're
Yeah,
lower
that's right.
middle class, so
That
that
is the
wasn't a
white
deal
people.
for us.
Well, we were
Snow
just
ski, yeah.
we only by the grace of my dad being good with money.
Yeah.
Because we're about the same level as you guys. My dad was just really good at saving.
Yeah.
So it's like, but, so there was like a brief period of time, like right at the end of junior high, right at the beginning of high school, when my parents were like, let's go to the snow, let's go, and they'd be like, you can bring a friend, you can come, whatever. I'd be like, yeah, okay. I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking ski. Like, I don't want to, like, I tried snowboarding, it threw my back out. I was like, I don't want to do that. So it would just be like, I'm gonna go play in the snow.
That's the dues of the sport. You just have to agree that you're gonna be fucking falling for, hours and
But,
hours.
Now I'm really tempted to try and drag you guys up to snow at some point and have you get on a proper sled.
See, and that was like
Yeah,
the big
that's
thing
right.
when we went to Skiz. Like, I
Go
was just
tubing.
always in the kitchen, so I never actually went out, and it was never really snowing.
No,
It would
because,
always smell like a
because
little
it died.
bit.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it died off like the year after we froze our asses off. It stopped snowing during January, and so it's like,
Yeah.
well, okay. And
Well,
then,
like the
you had to
last time
travel
I
up
went,
the
it was so warm that all the trees released their pollen. And I basically died.
And
from
you were
allergies.
vaguely dying
Well, no,
a
it was,
couple times. So
well, yeah. The first time I went there was when I was still like lying in my arm, no hair, like in treatment.
we were happy you could be there.
Yeah, I was just happy to be there. And the second time, and the last time I went was when it was like all of the pine pollen.
Yeah.
It's all in the air.
Oh no, there was
Why?
one.
I've only been there twice.
There was one year
Yeah.
where it actually proper snowed, but that was like the last year Hugo went.
Because it snowed a little bit the first time I went.
Oh, we got rabbit.
I'm like, I totally want to like keep this up because I've got a weird like childhood story about snow,
Oh no.
but like, it's almost 8:30.
Oh yeah, serious times.
So yes. So internet, guess what? We're gonna play 7C.
I don't know why I gasped on that.
I know. I know you just tuned in there.
Oh no, we got rabbit to do that. I thought we finally shamed rabbit into doing the.
No, she did it a long time
She had
ago.
that too.
Yeah.
Oh, half hour, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, no. Yes.
That's already been a thing. We want to play because she's only awake for so many hours
Yeah.
because she's ahead of us.
We have an
Well,
hour
she
and a
shouldn't have
half
taken a
of
shower
solid
then, huh?
game.
We usually start at 8:30.
She shouldn't have taken a shower.
Wow.
It was 8 when she was taking a shower. Anyway.
It was not.
It was earlier. We were good.
It was 7 o'clock.
Nobody should take showers anyway.
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 Ew.
Yes. I
Could
know.
bathe, I guess.
Yeah.
Sponge bath. So last time we were doing things, we
made friends with the people at the restaurant, and they gave me unlimited food.
yes, which
They
we
gave
did.
you a lot of food and wine.
And much like our group always does, we now have a ghoul.
Yep.
We have a
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we
Jose.
have a friend.
Yes.
Oh wait, that's not his real name.
no, it's not, but his name's Jose now, whether he
Yeah.
likes it or not. And he's
Jose.
gonna turn it around. He's gonna be a good boy.
What did it turn his real name was?
I don't know.
See, I didn't write it down.
Andres is his real name.
Andres,
I'm
yeah.
gonna ruin it, GM.
It's Jose. It's Jose.
I'm the only
Way
one
to
that calls
ruin
him
it.
by his actual name.
That's okay, Tony. Give it a month or two. Oh, we forgot.
Her name's not Brenda.
Seriously, I wrote notes and I stopped before I finished the sentence.
What was the sentence?
It says we finished our first task but found out there could be a mole because no one else was supposed.
Period.
I mean, you still have more than me. Mine is Carlos with an exclamation. And then there's a mole right after that. Who's Carlos?
They train a pistol on us and demand the package from us. Rethald measures the spaces between us, then punches
I
the
love how
dude
the
in the face
progression gets
after
farther back.
giving him the option to let us pass or not. He chose not. And then I wrote, he chose down! And that was it.
Oh, Carlos was the name of the captain of those guys at Black Death at the beginning.
So,
of Black
so if we keep up this tradition, we'll need to have Lisa read first, and then you read second, and then Sally third. So yeah, good. No, yeah, we totally did the restaurant thing, and I felt like we had a nice cozy in between somewhere.
That's right.
Before
Yeah,
our
we went
next-
back to our house place.
Yes,
You got to meet.
and I think it was Xavier. He's the one.
No, absolutely, yes.
You got to meet.
So you would.
The grande of
Yeah, we met with Sierra.
That's right. Lucia and her second in command, who took care of the food and booze for you guys.
Was that Seraphine? Being?
Sergey? Seraphine?
Lucia, Sarah.
Sebastian was
Oh,
her
Yes,
second.
Sebastian is her
I have
second.
somebody named Seraphine.
That's
Sarah-
Lucia's
yeah.
last name.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
Lucia Seraphine.
Ooh.
I have that much with
Good job.
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean, I have Sebastian
And,
down there. I just
yeah.
didn't know what we
You had remember that the Ristorante is where they conduct affairs of state.
New
Even though
business.
she doesn't, she basically got most powers usually reserved for nobility stripped away. She's still managing basically external affairs, which is,
All right. And
and I think one of you had recognized what the symbol was.
I think it was from
Oh yeah, it basically identifies
yeah,
us
the
as part of
Odyssey
as
and
part of the
Liberation
rebellion.
Army. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have thoroughly ingrained ourselves in whatever politics this is about.
That's right.
Of course we have.
So while they are not asking anything in return, they
Ooh, her
did
name's
mention.
Oh, I
did.
oh, sick! It got me.
ourselves.
It's the best
True to
every
herself.
time.
Hope you're not.
Are you shitting me?
Ouch.
That didn't get me. I'm really upset about that. All right, fine.
Did you get your name in?
Did you get yourself?
She got herself. No,
Okay.
she didn't get herself. Yes.
No, it wouldn't have.
Yeah. I think.
Yes.
That's why we let the computer do it.
That's
Yeah, fine.
Well, I guess I better check what I got.
I know who you got.
Yes.
Oh, you're having tummy time?
Oh Lord. Oh.
Isn't it comfy?
Oh.
You need to work your core more because
Apparently, tummy time is code for when the giant beast that lives with us positions itself in a form of torture on your torso.
Yeah, she likes doing that for some reason, right?
Our cat doesn't want to touch you.
Well, it is your cat.
well,
so.
at 6:45, 6:50 every morning, Sasha wakes me up, puts her paw on my shoulder, and does a wow, wow, and then I'm like, all right. So I roll over onto my back and pull the blanket all the way up here, so when she does this thing, it's not like. I pet her, and that's tummy time.
I can't hear you over Lisa. No, we believe you. Oh, no, Sally might.
I want to see.
So,
Go forth and look.
it's okay. Your character needs to go to work anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. You had a job.
Wait, but the jam's leaving.
That's okay. We can still play.
Yeah.
Cool. So we go murder Lucian. He's the guy who's out to kill you. Or he's the
Yeah.
Inquisitor.
Is that uncomfortable?
That uncomfortable. Hold on, let me see here. Let me double check. I just looked at it. Yeah, Sword Captain Lucio Voratelli. He's the Inquisitor, the Prophet Sword. So we don't like him because he'd probably want to burn you at the stake, and he definitely wants to get
I didn't write that down.
our Vodachi witch.
He's
No one knows that.
not technically Inquisitor, but he's captain of the Prophet Sword, which is the arm of the Inquisition.
So he's top asshole number 1.
Okay.
Yes, and you've already had a couple run-ins.
Oh yeah, because I killed a cop
You killed a cop.
on accident.
Rick killed a guy.
First game.
Yeah, a little bit.
You just set his head on fire.
That was not my intention.
It's okay, we're making progress. We're already converting them now. So it's, it's good. It's a good arc.
Yeah,
Is it,
so
like there's noise happening, or you actually saying something, or is it background? Okay.
Good, don't say anything.
yes, after spending a solid afternoon, early evening eating and drinking, you came back home to another meal because the cook had prepped another one.
And I'm pretty sure he might not eat that
Yes, I know.
because she always eats things.
Oh yeah, gotta keep that hammer space going.
Yep, that's right. So next morning, Marilena, you have to be up crack of dawn because you have to be at work at the crack of dawn
I feel like I probably woke up that early anyways, but
because
yep.
Because she already puts in 8 beforehand.
that's right. She probably marinates
Mhm.
during like all afternoon. That's how she's still alive.
Well, I get up, I get myself ready to get outside. If there's anything like bread or anything I can eat while I'm going,
Oh yeah.
and I'll grab that.
There's bread with some breakfast. I see that Juanita has already fried some beans for you.
I mean, hey, if it's there, I'll eat it if I have time. But I might be half like, no, out the door.
So once you get out and get to work, you see that a lot of the merchants in the flower quarter are starting to put up their stalls, and some of them are open already. Like there's commotion sort of starting. Juanita is just guiding you and being a harsh mistress with your craft. Nothing that you do seems to be good enough. But even so, you feel that her tutelage is forcing you to improve. even
Even if I don't want to.
yeah, even as you're like, oh, lady's full of shit. You
I guess that is a lot of repetition of things that I just thought I already knew.
yes. Give yourself a dot in your craft
Am I getting that?
from Juanita's strange tutelage. Sometimes you don't quite understand either what she's getting at.
I'm looking at this trying to figure out which one of these is crap.
Yeah, these ones
Like
don't
that.
really have craft.
Would it be a scholarship thing? How weird. I guess we don't. Crap.
You're weird.
Yeah, I know.
What's weird?
I mean, I am weird, but
Weird name?
Oh yeah, we'll put it in there.
I see it as basically the same thing as like the vampire sheets.
Mhm.
It's just rearranged.
That's
What?
right.
Nana was saying she's just these character sheets are so simple that it still kind of confuses me. And I'm like, if I just rearrange it to look like the vampire sheet, it'd be the same shit.
Yeah.
yeah, what am I gonna
We
put
don't need
in
to
it?
make every game
Put it
vampire
in
guys.
Skull.
Everything needs to be vampire.
Yep. It's always been fun. So for the rest of you,
ABV, always be vampire.
that's right. That's our motto. You're free to get up.
Yeah.
Whenever you get up, Marilena's already gone by the time most of you get up. There's food ready. Augustina has cooked breakfast. Xavier is nowhere to be found. Probably fucking around outside somewhere, maintaining the rest of the estate. Genia, this troubles you. This
This is very
the
troubling.
shifty man is nowhere in sight.
I'm gonna go wander around the house
I like that
innocently.
somehow Jenya wants
Push
a
open
bush
doors.
ended up like on its own line,
Oh yeah,
entirely separate.
What is it?
Jenya wants a bush.
that's right.
Yeah, she does.
There was a whole
Shrubbery.
side quest
Yeah.
We need some shrubberies.
about finding a bush last time. If you wander around the estate, and you actually find them in the backyard at some point.
Ouch! Near my plants!
Yes.
Them's fighting
Near where the
things.
tools are kept,
Trimming.
and where the horse crap is stored. But yeah, no, he seems to be fiddling with the like bridles and
Yeah.
saddles where all of the carriage and stuff is stored. There's some tools in there too. Doesn't seem to have noticed you.
Hang back. I give you the adventures to see.
All right, so
I'll spend my days planning on this poor man.
we have a list of tasks. I don't know if any of you.
Oh, yeah.
some of those
Yeah,
we had
I
a side
wrote it
quest.
down.
that can basically be done in any order. There's also
We did the restaurant thing.
the possibility that there might be internal tomfoolery based on how you
We're ambushed.
were immediately ambushed when carrying that communication to the restaurant, even though nobody else but you was supposed to know.
We communicated that to
The lady.
our patron, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You
We've told everybody now.
Salvador.
yes.
And then we sent our stooge, Jose,
Yes.
or something.
Given a message
That's
to
how
Salvador.
you got that
Yeah.
message to Salvador. Instead of going back to her,
Yeah, we
you send you had released Jose, but then sought him back at his place.
Oh, yeah.
To send him back on one more errand.
Just for fun.
Genya I've convinced him to go back home, which is where he was supposed to be headed
Yeah.
right today.
Gotta go back and like reconnect with his earth and learn a trade skill and be a good person and go to his mother and be good to his mother.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, so there's two
I'm
other
gonna turn him
things.
into a spy. Or at least an errand boy.
Like, so I guess this is our Morpheus for.
We always have to have
We
somebody.
that's why I said we have a ghoul now.
You gotta
Yep.
bet.
Yeah, the other two things that we were told to do
Mhm.
are establish contact with the Carrie and Crow Mercenary Company.
All right.
Because there's a guy named Gustavo Alvarez who was in prison and we're supposed to exonerate him.
Mm-hmm. That was a different task.
Yeah.
So those are two.
And then the other one was there is a Voldachi guy. I did not write down this one in very much detail. There's some sort of sabotage we're supposed to investigate involving Alessandro Lucani.
Yep. So that was a trade partner of Salvador, who is now has now more or less severed trading ties with. But
There was a request sent to him that went unanswered.
yeah,
And it says maybe sabotage.
Salvador was suspecting that somebody might have been trying to wreck that particular relationship.
That's what I want.
Wait, is Gustavo and Karen Crow the same?
Nope.
No.
They're
Yeah.
different tasks.
Oh, okay.
Well, I thought, yeah, because I thought Gustavo Alvarez was part of the carrying crew thing, or the
No.
Well,
separate.
I have
Okay.
this is a separate
So there's four then.
thing.
Yeah, there
So
was
the
four
Carrion
and you
Crow
took care of
Mercenary
one.
One, so now there's three left. I get it. There we go.
Gustavo was one of Salvador's employees. He's in jail now,
Right.
and once again, Salvador suspects that he was framed. None of their business is always 100% legit.
Yeah.
There seem to have been planted
like,
evidence.
This one seems like we're playing Phoenix, right? I mean, it basically says find the evidence that the gatekeeper is a sham.
All right. Well, let's get Pikachu out.
All right.
And Professor Layton.
Yeah.
And okay. All right. So there's the contact with the Vodachi guy.
Mhm.
There's this guy in prison we've been trying to exonerate, and then there's also the Carrying Crow company. That's what's our task on that one? Just to reach out to them and be like, yo, how's it going?
That's all I see online. Is just to establish
Well,
Walk up and be like,
Salvador-
"Sup, bitches, what's going on?"
Just got that page.
The Carrion Crow is basically a group that lives not within the city. They're camped outside. It's primarily composed of veterans. It started sort of as a veteran advocacy group at the outset of the war, but now there's some rumblings about them having some anti-nobility sentiment. Just based around how the military has been treated following the war and how a lot of them are going hungry and a lot of the pensions been cut.
Veteran situation.
Basically. So they're not really officially welcome within city limits because they're sort of a fringe group. But Salvadora is willing to see about establishing a partnership with them because they're going to need supplies.
That's what I thought. Okay. Cool. So let's try and get dude out of jail first. Does that sound like a plan?
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
As soon as. Oh yeah. So as soon as.
I will attempt to do an Irish accent, but it always comes out as a pirate, so I'm sorry.
That's alright. It's Westy. It's fine.
It starts
It's close
Irish
enough.
and devolves into pirate.
Yeah.
So as soon as our only honest individual who has a job comes back,
Well, that's a job. I'm extremely honest.
to a fault, yes.
Mariana rolls around at about.
We'll let her. We'll get her. We'll get her.
I'm still stalking
Let her get a
Xavier.
sandwich and a nap in, and then
I was wondering what you were making.
I make a box for the tea.
Like seriously, my hands hurt real bad.
Yep.
I probably just get some warm water and just like for a bit.
yeah, get a snack and a nap, and and then we're gonna go. And then we're gonna go to jail.
Yeah, you guys can do that.
Really? First
Yeah.
time for everything.
I'm drawing right under this.
So like, is it just a jail in this town or?
Oh, really? You've never been incarcerated?
No, never.
Oh,
Not
good.
yet.
I'm stalking the butler, so
Xenia,
Well, to be honest, if I were to do
Let
anything
that
wrong
poor
or
man
wrong,
shovel
I would
crap.
be dead.
They tried to kill me.
she
It didn't
stands up
work.
really fast and like
we are talking about our next job.
wanders over like I wasn't sitting around watching him.
I know, it's fascinating. He's very frail, but manages to do. He's shoveling shit. I saw it.
Yeah,
So
I
did
don't.
I. What is he hiding?
like a very
You could always go digging. If you want some help, let me know.
follow very suspiciously butler stuff.
And everybody,
Teach me butler stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Oh
Teach me
yeah.
butler stuff, French man.
Oh yeah.
Will do.
Nice.
That was going up on the board. Says Amanda. I'm sorry, comma, Amanda chuckled.
All right,
nice
cool.
dictation.
I'm gonna
Hello.
try.
Keyword dick.
You were not dick in the conversation. I told someone to look over by the cocks today. That was fun.
Yeah.
There's this sign that people keep reading, I'm having sex instead of I'm having six, and it's over there by those cocks. That was fun.
Perfect. Nice.
They had me fun.
Yeah. So as soon as Mara, wait, Marilena,
Yes.
right? Because you're Jimena, right? All right. So
It's Maryland,
it's been a while. Yeah.
but Italian.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Kind of.
Evine pops up behind and just.
Creeper, no creeping.
I've been here the whole time.
We know.
That's right.
Cool. So as soon as she's done with her sandwich and her nap, we're gonna head out. Let's go for a stroll, shall we? No need to get the carriage involved. Let's go. So we head on down to the local jailhouse. Yeah.
All right.
Explore misled people.
Can I pay extra attention to see if people are following us? Because I'm just like, is somebody going to attack us this time? Because we're out together.
You
And all the
absolutely
other
can.
times that happened.
Why don't you go ahead and roll that?
I appreciate your concern.
What did you do?
What do I roll?
Rethel does not maintain that sort of composure.
Roll me a wits plus notice.
Oh, that's right. Oh, look, that's one.
One.
Yep.
One raise.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay. Well, so you don't.
This is not like Kirsty. I've only got 4 people there.
Yeah. Well, you're staying vigilant, but you know within the crowd there's the sort of comings and goings among the town. You see people of various stations passing by. Within the crowd, you don't really notice anybody paying special attention to you guys. It's a pretty.
What's this guy's name again?
Gustavo Alvarez.
All right. Gustavo Alvarez. Cool.
You do,
I
however,
might have a way to get in here, guys.
As a rat?
No. More fun.
Marilena, you do notice, however, a notice on one of the walls as you're passing by, close by one of the taverns. It talks about a wanted person.
Not me, is it?
So
Probably me.
I'm gonna use a hero point to
Okay.
activate
Oh.
extended family.
Okay.
Because I know fucking someone everywhere.
Yep. You sure do.
And I might know someone in this jail. Whether they're a guard or a prisoner.
Perfect.
They shouldn't
Well,
be a prisoner. But we'll see.
well,
That's funny, because I was going to tell whoever the desk clerk was, like, we're his siblings. We're here to see him.
I got family.
That's all right.
I got a cousin somewhere.
So who's on the wanted poster?
so it basically describes a list of offenses, including possession of restricted merchandise, theft of secrets,
Oh.
and then various minor offenses.
This person sounds like he belongs in the prison.
There's no name, but there is
It would be unwise to speak of that without knowing.
a charcoal picture of a lady that reasonably could look like you.
Oh, that's neat.
You notice that the name Francesco Alba Mondali is
Oh boy.
put at the bottom in case anybody has any sort of information
There's a charcoal drawing.
about, yes.
Let's just go smear some pieces off. Right.
Francesca.
Change the shape of the nose.
Does that sound familiar?
That's
Yes,
that's
me.
it
the
should.
guy who
It's
walks.
the very upset
Oh.
Badache man who
Not just cargo.
yelled
Well, apparently
at you
he's still in
guys on the
town.
first day
Good
when
job.
you rescued her from the boat.
So as we walk past,
My friend?
Yep, you guys
Past
are
it.
walking past.
we
You-
don't stop
you
and
saw
stare
that.
at it. I go, so how do you know him?
I don't believe I've met him, but technically in my country, I am property of the country, so to speak.
Thank you for the extra info, but the first bit would have sufficed.
How can your country have you as a property? Fucking.
They are backwards country, don't worry about it.
I'm not
It does
going
not
to
make sense
disagree.
to me that you are property of country.
You don't make sense to a lot of them.
Well, I suppose I am
The first
property to my husband, but for my abilities, yes.
You're married?
Yes.
Oh,
Well, I'm not sure if that's still. It's probably a no now. Well, now I'm depressed. Thank you.
oh, I'm sorry. Did you like him?
Yes.
Oh,
No llores, mija. Eat something.
maybe we can kidnap him and reunite you.
Oh, that wouldn't be good
Jenny
for him
looks
at all.
a little misty-eyed, and she's just.
Well, when you're ready to undertake whatever, we'll help you.
One day,
Oh,
Nika
well,
will get
thank
married. It will be wonderful.
We all stop in the middle of the road.
Like,
I don't know. And I
March
keep walking.
on.
Yes.
You actually, if you pay attention as you're walking by, you actually see a couple of people coming out of the tavern looking at the poster and then looking at the gray smudge under it. There's no name, it could be anybody.
It makes the chin look like a Jay Leno situation. It's like a very strong chin.
Carve it down a little bit.
Right.
So if we see any more of those posters, we'll just mark it in the exact same spot. Oh, it's intentional. Cool. So yeah, we got up to the jailhouse.
Yes, so you make it to the guardhouse, which are staffed by people who clearly wear the crest of Governor Perez. You actually hear from within some very unpleasant sounds. You hear some yelling. You hear some kind of squishy noises. There's all sorts of unpleasantness sort of going out within. You hear a couple of the guards that are posted near the entry chuckle and talking about a couple of the Inquisitions and Prophet Sword members being inside for usual business. But one of the guards actually stops you as you approach. He seems to be Eisen, wielding a gigantic halberd and a very floofy plumed hat. And he passes by and says, "This is off limit. You can go in."
Oh no, it's okay, cousin. We are visiting my brother,
Who's your brother?
Gustavo. I give the full name.
He actually gestures one of the other guards, and they check a couple names off the list, and he shakes his head. No, Gustavo is on the do not visit list. I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay because we are also his lawyers.
It's not even
He
like
actually checks on the list. What did you say your name was again?
Around here. Juan Mendez. I have just been assigned, so my name's probably not on there.
Yeah, you're right about that. It's not actually on there.
Jenny is like, "But this one."
Don't you remember in the tavern they were calling me Juan?
Oh, it's like you called Andres de Jose.
No. Here my name is Juan.
His name is Jose.
He's Andres.
I don't believe him.
His
Who?
name is Jose. So briefly,
While you're arguing,
Wait,
somebody,
I want to read the hell out of these guys while
yeah,
this
like
is
that.
happening.
Yeah, that gives her a good 5 minutes
Sure.
to clue in.
You're looking at those folks.
Mhm.
You're focusing on anybody in particular, or just reading the room.
Well, the two guards.
All right.
There's two of them, right? I don't remember.
An Ison and
Yeah, the other one looks Castilian. He's armed as well, but he seems to be holding the registrar. Ridiculous stage which look at everybody's motivation.
You'll learn eventually. You're gonna have to.
maybe he should hold on to the deck and just.
It's basically.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
does the deck have?
My mom tried for 38
Does the deck have
years.
stuff on it? Oh yeah, like Auspex. You see orange. It's just always orange.
Do you want to just random drop on the deck?
Assume orange.
Does it have? Does it have the
info?
game stuff info on it? No, it's just. Oh, it's like a proper prop.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to use that just to? Can I see it?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Yeah, those are pretty well.
It's been a while since I showed it.
Ooh.
They feel very weighty, don't they?
Very
A little
nice.
stiff, but yeah. And then of course the minor.
Amanda says, "This was soon."
Yep. What's I was like, it's not Naveen. Yeah, what's Naveen up to?
She's
for
not
all
a
this?
fancy, random, who knows where he's from, prince.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
Oh, she's received. She's
Um,
hearing voices.
yeah. We have a medium
She
here at the
says that since I'm always being sneaky, can I see any of the names on the list?
Mm.
table. Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, you can. So the page it's on, Evine, you actually see Gustavo. For you personally, you see a couple names that you do recognize because of your bardic knowledge as a couple members of the Carrion Crow seem to be housed in jail here.
Yeah, where's my stuff?
That'll get us in good if
Oh,
we can help
Carrie.
them out.
Yes. You see
Who's
you
juggling?
also see the name Francois Duplantier, which you immediately recognize as one of the officers during the war between Montaigne and Castile. He was not a general, he was sort of a mid-range officer, but he has been wanted by the Castilian crown for basically crimes that he committed during the war. There's some rumors about poisoning a couple of settlements and various other atrocities. Your insight tells you this is probably who the Inquisition are questioning, because he's also a very vocally affirmed forte sorcerer, meaning he's a teleporting dummy.
Can you please spell the name?
Yes. So Francois.
Yeah,
Frankie.
Francis.
Yes.
That's
With
Francis.
an O.
Yes.
With an O.
Francoise.
Okay. She's got the Francois part.
Yes. And then the last name is Duplantier. Duplantier.
Get that?
So pretty choice target. It does seem odd to you that such a high profile target is actually kept here, even though San Felipe is a main town. You would think that they would move a prisoner of that import
Like to the
to the
capital.
capital, to Vatican City, especially closer to where the Inquisition is, because he is clearly somebody they would like to make an example out of. Him being a war criminal plus a theist-hating sorcerer. It does seem odd that he's kept
Still
here.
Mhm.
All right. So Sally, the main guard.
Are there
Yes.
any approved lawyer names?
Yeah, like yeah, because I think that's what she was looking for was.
Yes, actually. But we'll have a little something trigger since we had a hero point getting spent.
Oh, hers first?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's
Yeah.
get our
So
get a recon.
yes. So the virtue of the gentleman wielding the big halberd,
He's the Iceland one?
yes,
Mhm.
is the hero. Which is courageous. His hubris is the war, which is loyal. The other gentleman with him, you see intuitive as a virtue, the witch. And then his hubris is the wheel, unfortunate.
Oh, that's fun.
We have anything to do with it, yeah.
So while Evine, you actually make mental notes of those names. You actually see, a couple carrion crows seem to be held at this facility. And while you guys are having an open argument about Rethel's name in these art,
And Jose.
you actually see a third guard coming out of the facility. Also wearing a halberd. He's not wearing the floofy hat. He seems a little sort of odd fitting in his uniform. Like he's a huge mountain of a man, and he seems to be bursting a little bit out. He's carrying his halberd like very informally, like sort of at his side with the pike pointing forward, right? So he's just walking out of the tower.
I don't think this is not one you're supposed to carry.
He comes out and then looks a little ill for a second. Like he steps. There's sort of a path leading to the guard door.
Mhm.
He leans over his pike for a little bit and he hunches over the side.
I think we all quietly notice this because it's suddenly off.
Oh yeah. And then he gets back up to his full, almost 7 feet tall, and he goes back up and takes like a severe expression, and he's carrying the pike with more vigor, and then he starts to walk, and then his eyes stop on you.
Like,
That
ah!
is one of your cousin 3 times removed.
Oh, that's close.
We practically grew up together.
His name is Yevgeny.
Nice.
And the moment he sees you, he just walks past the other two guards as they're looking, and you see him just go like he's focusing towards her. No expression. He just watches her and then just picks her
I
up.
think the rest of us
and
are like,
lifts her right off the ground.
Which is scary because I'm built like a small rock.
Yep.
Ah!
He just ups and lifts her and starts twirling her around.
Big hugs, big laughs.
Wolfman, do I see a connection between them?
Absolutely.
I mean, they're
Is it strong?
obviously assertive.
Yeah, you see a good strand between the two of them. Yeah, they start to speak in moon language. So
Oh!
Okay, then, so
Kisses
I
on
feel
both cheeks. Oh, some slabs.
he's asking a million questions at once. What are you doing out here so far?
She's asking him right back, I'm sure.
Yep.
Oh,
He needs some blood. He doesn't look very. He looked a little peaky.
Yeah, after a while, he just drops you back down.
I'll let him know that Mika is missing and I'm looking for her and I'll find her and
What? Where?
Grandmother has brought me here and I will find her.
I'll go with you.
We're here for this first and then we go find her.
I flip him a parchment with our address. If you hear anything about Mika, let us know.
The
I know
guy.
it was the Budash.
The guy with the halberd, as this whole thing is happening, the bearded Eisen man speaks in broken Ashuran, without even looking at him. You can't go, Yevgeny. You're still stuck at Garrison. You can't go anywhere.
Looks back like
And
you
you
need
said
to come out and breathe the air.
Yeah, I kind of got a job.
It's good that you.
And he leans a little
Right,
closer.
yeah.
He leans a little closer. It's like, it's easier than being inside. It's sort of community service.
Oh, I have something for you. Rummage through her bag, pulls out a jar. It's from home.
He just grabs it with both hands. This giant man is getting all misty-eyed.
I'm just
holding this
oh,
tiny
gosh,
jar
I'm
to
just
his
loving it.
chest, and he's just like,
The Castine guard. I whacked the Castine guard on the chest a couple times. Like, oh great. Family, like, oh good.
Oh, your hugs. Oh,
so, and he immediately opens the jar and he starts glug this stuff
We
in.
work on that.
You hear the
I feel like your vein could just like. snap
the
right
Eisen
now.
man like stay still in the
He probably
shore.
knows Cherry
Maybe this
Kids.
will help his hangover and can stop moaning and complaining and do his job for once.
Oh, he does not give hangovers. He's probably just drunk.
He does look a little pale, but your concoction is helping
Magic.
him. You see the rosy getting back to his cheeks.
Just need a little extra blood.
Hey, Veen, did you catch that? You could probably sneak in right now.
Oh yeah. There's commotion right now.
Everywhere I go,
So,
there's commotion. She
why
says,
are you here
"Okay, I
again?"
sneak in."
Mika's not inside. I can tell you that.
No, I don't think she'd be here. No, someone took her. There was white fans. Saw them with my eyes. They were in our house.
Oh, we want that.
I know it was.
A little racist, but at least we're getting some more info. That
So-
Yeah.
What?
Who's this fucker we're looking for?
Gustavo,
Alvarez.
our brother.
I know what it is.
No, yeah, like all three of us.
Even
Gustavo, our
the-
brother.
The Castilian. That we're also the lawyers for.
Yes, and he's lawyer.
So
We
yes.
realize it's I'm not Russian.
Do you know this Gustavo man?
Oh yeah, he's a bad one.
Does he deserve to be in here?
Well, that's what they say. I mean, I don't have too many questions, but he's on the bad floor.
But we need to find out.
So is that here? Like, is one of you the lawyer for this guy?
Yeah, we are looking to.
Okay.
Correct.
Everybody
Yeah.
at the same time.
just
Yeah.
Repel's face. It's like in between.
Yes, please. And strips
He
back out.
has disappeared.
Yeah. Nice.
Perfect. He's like, oh, well, I guess we had a different name on the list, though, but
He apparently has many names.
he turns towards the Ison.
I nod knowingly at the Ison guard because it's like, you know, for the locals, sometimes we adopt different monikers.
Yevgeny actually turns towards the Ison men and is like, now, Captain Reinhardt, this is my cousin. I will vouch for her. If she says this is the business that brings her here, this is the business that brings her here. The most honest lady in all of Asura. Never lies. Never lies.
No, yeah, you know, yeah. As far as she knows, yeah.
May grandmother Matushka strike me down if I lie.
Breton is looking over his
Look up,
shoulder, like,
clear skies.
is the bridge gonna collapse? No, no divine retribution.
Woo, that's a problem for future me. All right.
Yeah, that's
So that's actually one of my deal. Like I can't lie.
Yeah,
No, it's great. Yeah.
you didn't say you were a lawyer.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah.
Nope, you said.
Yeah, I didn't say
Yeah,
I
of
was.
course,
I'm like, he
right.
does shit. Like, I don't know what he fucking does.
That's right. So, Captain Reinhardt is looking at this for a second. He looks at the big man, and then we'll clear this through with the mother house. Feel free to go in. You don't have more than an hour.
All we need, thank you. And so, as soon as we get the Vegas clear, we tromp down.
Give another big hug.
Yeah.
I will come back and see you again. I will
You
bring
better.
more.
How did I know you're here?
Yes.
I'm posted here for the next 2 years.
So long. Oh,
Ah, well.
are you able to cut that side?
Yeah.
That's good.
Already down the hall. Yeah, hopefully she. Already down the hall. Yeah, yeah, hopefully not as a resident. Huh? Clonk, clonk, clonk.
I follow them.
Yeah.
After Hugs claps the head guard that was there. I don't know that dude. Thank you. You are doing good work.
Don't mention it.
Off we go.
Please go. Time is running.
Like, please get away from me.
If you're anything like that one, please go away.
Excuse me.
So you come clomping up behind us, and so we get down to the, what was it, third level? Second?
Yeah, it's third level down.
Okay.
The screams and the unpleasant noises get louder and louder, and
Oh,
the closer you get to bottom level.
His eyes are twitching.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Jimena,
Trigger.
you have some very clear images kind of flooding back to you. In fact, some of the noises that are sort of nondescript for everybody, you're sort of like, oh yeah, that's a branding iron. Somebody getting brand up in this bitch.
It's a fun sizzle sandwich.
Do I have any indication of what cell he's in, or do I just yell Gustavo, or how? What?
Oh,
If
he's
you
on the
do
third
that,
level.
one of the guards actually
Oh, okay. So
goes
we got.
and escorts you to.
We're here to talk to Gustavo. Yeah.
They actually lead you down 3 levels down into one of the corner cells. The screaming is pretty pervasive on this floor, so the guard seems fairly nonplussed, like it's daily occurrences in here. Even are you with the group, or did you go your separate way?
She went ahead, but if she hears us coming anyway, she hangs back and waits for us to catch up.
Perfect. Evine appears within your midst at some point.
Blink.
Oh.
This whole time, I'm hoping anytime I'm not keeping track of someone, they're getting intel. So we'll see.
Everybody is spies.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different opinion. Jimenez is like everybody is wizards, and then Reton is like everybody is spies.
I mean, everyone is wizards.
Yeah.
This part.
Yeah, basically.
You're not a wizard.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
I haven't needed to be.
Oh, okay.
If my skills are necessary, I employ them. So far, few of my skills have been necessary.
Mhm.
even the fighty stuff, I haven't really pulled out my.
Oh.
It's been fun. Cool. So yeah.
He
So,
leads you to the door of the cell, uses a heavy brass key to open it up, and then he just stands posted out there. Captain says you have an hour.
But there's a very nice key.
He just pulls it out.
It looks heavy.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of responsibility. You'll hold it well.
Gustavo.
As you enter into the cell, you see a very malnourished man kind of huddling on one side of the cell, sort of near to a pile of straw on the ground, no bed. There's one bucket in the cell. Yep, that's the bucket. He actually, once he sees you coming, starts to look very alarmed.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I would be too.
Seems like he's trying to force his back to meld with the wall.
Oh boy.
I bust out just a small hunk of bread and a small skein, and I'm like, brother, some things to fortify you.
He looks at it very suspiciously, but does not reach out.
I'm like, yeah, we are here we are here because your aunt is very concerned for your well-being.
Is the guard still?
He's outside, right outside the
Hey,
cell,
here.
and he's just standing there.
Yeah.
Yes, the cell is not very big.
Yeah, I'm like, your aunt is very worried about you. Don't worry, none of these are not from. Oh,
He looks confused when you say that. Like
I take
he's
a
not quite
bite
sure.
and I take a swig, and I'm like,
He hesitates for a moment and then very
Like,
slowly, carefully grab it, and he takes a short sip,
yeah, not too much.
then a swig. and
Calm
then
down. I imagine it wouldn't be good for you to go
He's
too.
shoving food in his gullet,
And I'm like, yeah,
he's coughing
yeah.
and tearing up, and that man has been kept on a very lean diet for some
Yeah,
time.
and I'm like, take it easy. You're gonna shit yourself or puke it back up. So calm the f down.
But yeah, he has visibly been beaten multiple times, and when he finally speaks again, like his voice is hoarse, like he hasn't spoken in weeks. But he finally says, "What news are you bringing from outside? Why to visit? Why now?"
Well, our aunt wants to know how you ended up here, so we can try and get you out.
He pauses for a second and then peers behind you guys at the open cell.
Do we have anything that designates us as agents of what's her name?
Salvador?
Not
I don't
really.
know about her.
no, we have the thing for the other
Yeah,
people,
but-
but I
Yeah,
don't
we
think
got
we
the
have.
coins, but
I don't think we
that's
have
not it.
anything for her.
You have her seal, but that's
That's fine. I think he's getting the gist of it anyway. So
I feel
Yeah.
like I want to go
he looks
outside.
past and looks at the opening for the cell and then looks a little uncertain. Then finally says, "The official charge is smuggling of controlled merchandise."
I thought that was business.
Contraband.
what ethnicities? Oh, he's Castilian as well, right?
Right.
So he would know Castilian and Thean, like the rest, like you.
Yes.
Mhm. That's why I was asking, does the guard understand?
Yeah, no, of course he
Castilian?
would. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. The guard is Castilian.
I'm gonna walk out there. I don't think we all have to be in there anyway.
You walk out. The guard gives
please
you like
inquire
a quick
if to
side
perhaps
glance.
we can get him some better accommodation, something,
Hi.
just to distract him.
Yeah, I talked to the guard. How long has Gustavo been in here?
By my count, I want to say 7 weeks now.
You must have done something very bad to deserve this kind of treatment.
It's pretty bad. You don't land on this floor unless it's particularly bad. This crime has managed to piss off some of Castile's allies, so
Well, in the I lost the word I wanted.
interest. Spirit?
Yes, interest. In the interest of gathering as much information as we can about the situation, what was it that he did? What was his crime?
I'm not at liberty to discuss that with you, ma'am.
But Jimena asks Gustavo.
Yeah, as soon as they're saying it's like okay, now we're really up.
Well, how is it that they think you stole? Not stole. I don't know. You stole. Yeah. Or smuggled.
He waits a few beats just to be certain that the guard is sort of engaged.
I'm totally going to straight up kiss him if this needs to happen.
All right.
I know.
Actually, roll me a
Bloody.
panache plus
Oh, fun.
tempt.
Okay. I'm probably, first of all, I'm doing this. I'm going to make it some
So
absurd. I'm gonna curse this guy.
Nice.
Let's see. Curse that bitch.
yeah, you got the kiss part down.
Right. Well, let me do it first. That's a lot of ones. That's a lot of ones.
Really low.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, that's one.
Yes.
Oh,
One.
that's a lot of ones I got. Don't matter.
Are you activating your curse?
Well, I have to actually succeed at the kiss before you do it.
He looks slightly confused.
This is not a sexy place.
When no, it's not. And
You'd be
the
surprised
mood-
what turns us on.
the moon music that you're hearing is basically some guy, screaming himself hoarse as the rest of the sound has switched from the brand iron
Some people are into that shit.
from earlier to, some sound that sounds very wet and unpleasant.
That's fun.
But he does not break off the conversation. He actually still looks at you and doesn't, he's not pushing you back. He's just more looking at you like,
Damn, bro, you got some cake.
right? Like, why are you coming to jail to troll for guard kisses?
Well, I mean, if he doesn't resist, I'm gonna keep going with it.
But he's not breaking the conversation. He just looks very, what?
Damn, bro, you
What-
kinky.
What's happening? So while the guard is getting more occupied,
Oh yeah, by the way, my lashes I have 2 now, so that's 2 dice off of his pool for anything else that he does needs.
Perfect.
I guess.
which continues to contribute to him being addled. He's confused, but he's not fighting it. He's just like,
That's all we need.
yeah, he's the embodiment of I have the weirdest boner right now.
Alright, well,
I don't know what's going on, but
So I'm gonna see where it goes.
Yeah, it's like I didn't know this about myself, but I guess.
So what's Gustavo's got to say?
So he pauses for a second and then he speaks in a more hushed tone. I don't think we have much time, but this is probably a fairly lost cause. I work for Salvador as a ship's captain. She rescued me some years ago, so I pledged myself in her service. I help move goods for her between here and Libations, including well, some pretty illegal merchandise. He pauses for a second and, is sort of making sure the guard is now making some small talk in the corridor. Like you hear, it's not so much. I just carry the keys and, but it's a living, right? And sometimes the prisoners are just, they get rowdy, so I have to knock them back down. You know what I mean?
It's strong, man.
So all is satisfied that he's occupied spewing shit of his own. He just pauses for a second and says, how much do you know about Sophia's daughters?
I don't know. How much do I know about Sophia?
Right? How much do we know about Sophia's daughter?
I don't know anything.
I know something, but I'm busy.
Oh, Sophia's daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's.
I might know something about it. I don't know if Red Bull does. What is that?
Let's go with a witness plus scholarship.
Ooh, so 1 and 2.
2.
Want to do some wits plus scholarship, Amanda?
That's right.
So I'm guessing I've at least heard of them.
Yes.
I also got 2.
You got 2. Jamie has just nope.
Oh, yeah, I'm not know. She would definitely not know. Just in canon. Amanda. Want to do wits plus scholarship? How many you got on the recording? The back cruise itself.
Oh.
Well, a lot doesn't tell me how many here.
Probably like 3 and 3.
Yeah.
Because I think the most.
3 and 2 or 3 and 3.
Yeah. The most we can have right now is 3.
Well, so what do we get with 2, and then we'll see what
Yeah.
comes up with.
So, those of you who got 2, you definitely have heard the name. This is basically a secret society
Yeah.
that is working towards equality for women. They're basically working in
It's not
areas
difficult. Just how many do you need with?
in areas where women are treated as inferior to men. They work at educating. They're basically
So
2.
you listen to what John said.
Yes.
Because you got 2.
So you know that this is a secret society. You don't know where they're based or how their membership is held, but this is basically like a women's right secret society, helping women that are operating in bad conditions, helping women get away from abusive husbands. Whatever the cause may need. So that's 3 of you who know the name and what it represents.
and turns.
Yeah.
Why do we all look that way?
All right, I will take it by that look that you're at least familiar with the term. The only reason why I'm telling you this is you're going to need that connection if you want to get into this affair. But I'm warning you, it's pretty set. They got me pretty good. So I periodically take shipments from Sophia's daughters, meaning we get fate witches out of Vadachi and away from potentially abusive
Apparently, I'm
husbands
just not here to
and
hear
the
this.
country.
Wow, that's great. Yeah. I love
A
it.
country that basically give them no rights or no education.
So I just got a 2 and just plain wits to be like fate witch.
Right?
I know that term.
Yes. You do know that term. So if you got two, you actually know what those are.
Yeah.
They're very infamous Bodache witches that can basically reshape destiny. They can lead men to leap from cliffs,
Shape
have them
something.
fall on their own swords. They can make countries rise and fall just by manipulating good fortune. They're not seen outside of Bodache because they're one of the best kept secrets, and the merchant princes like it that way. They're basically property. They're not educated and they're rarely seen, right?
Well, we know she's from Vodachi, and all
Yeah,
Vodachi
yeah.
women are
Yeah.
property, so that part.
So, as you can probably tell, this is as hot merchandise as you can get, primarily because the relationship with Vodachi would sour if anybody knew that we're basically stealing one of their most precious resources from them.
And you're in here because they got you red-handed.
Well, it's not actually that simple. See, I have done the deed multiple times. The shipment that they did catch me on was a setup.
Oh, the mulligan. There is suspicions that not all of our cousins are honest. I don't suppose you know of anyone you might want to point a finger at.
Certainly would explain that. I don't know where to start, but I would start with getting some of the connections with the daughters. They might know a little bit more. What I can tell you is that one of the Fate Witches is working with whoever set me up.
No, I'm definitely not here.
Kimela turns and looks again.
Because the lady I was supposed to pick up on that one shipment had never left the country. So I picked up some other lady. She pretended to be the person I was supposed to bring to Newport. When I brought her over, she came to our co-conspirators, and before I knew it, they searched my ship. And well, this is where I am. Of course, they're not gonna make a public case out of this because Castille would rather not admit that there is contraband of Fate Witches within its own territory. So being kept down here, it's all very hush hush, and either to be moved to a more secure facility or be executed, one way or the other. The intent is that I never see the light of day again. Of course,
It's not fair.
he peeks again into the corridor. You hear the guard saying like, "Oh, I work in shifts of, it's 4 days and 3 days off." And, he's going for it. He looks back and says, "I'm sure I'm not the ultimate target of that, so I would watch my back. It's not impossible that they would expect or and to send somebody to look after me. They're probably after the bigger fish, so I would be cautious." And he leans closer and basically says, "If it means I'm instrumental in getting the boss caught into this, leave me in here or kill me. I don't care which. I'd rather that." And then he leans back.
I can't do the latter, so
I think we should be able to visit you at least once more in one way or another, sooner than later. So
Good.
And I know if I ever in this situation, I definitely want to have a sooner than later. So we'll keep a track on that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to be on the open. Yeah, just keep that in mind.
So, so Rethel keeps looking around. And he's like, "Could I fight everyone in here? Don't think I could fight everyone in here. I want to fight everyone in here. Like, yeah, like I'm not making like Rethel's not making eye contact with him yet because it will get us all in trouble.
It already started shit twice.
Yeah. Are you going to the bathroom to look in that?
No, I'm just grabbing something.
Wow! Oh Jesus! Oh,
What's happening?
oh Lord! Oh, gross! That's not game stuff.
Can I totally something to make my
Uh,
I can always write it
I am pheasant.
I want us to get back out, so we can be like, so how are we busting this place
But
up?
I'm like, but I
I
can't
a
betray my
wheelbarrow
cousin.
and a Holocaust.
The cost cloak, yeah.
I can't betray my cousin.
We'll get him out
We wouldn't
first.
betray him.
No, let's get him out first.
But that's the thing though, is he vouched for me.
Yeah. Yes, you know, too. And
If
you're
we
not.
bust out with the two that he sent us down for,
Oh no! That's why I'm like no, not right now. We'll visit again.
I'm like, it's gonna put him in trouble. I can't do that.
So
never mind.
so I pass him a little more contraband, and I'm like, man, better go easy on it.
I got two.
And
You got two?
oh,
Yeah, no, that dude. You actually feel the connection. So you're talking with him, and at some point you're plucking the strand and you tie it right around your pinky, and
Where it goes.
you actually feel the connection. This guy is gonna be thinking about this conversation a fair amount.
Okay.
I go, Bill, okay, if that's how you feel about it, okay. And I'm like, I hope you took notes. Good, okay, let's get going. All right. This big old show of, okay, I guess. All right, we're leaving now.
I mean, I step back and I give them a kiss on the cheek. They'll see you again soon.
I'll be here. I'll be here.
I'm sure you will.
So are these walled cells with doors, or okay, they're not.
It's
They're not
like-
open cages. They're
No, it's a big sort of stone corridor with like iron doors sort of built into
Right.
the structure.
Joanna slips in like a little vial. Like, here. I'm feeling really terrible. I can't make the
No,
accent
sure.
today. But like, take a couple sips of. I would suggest pouring a little on the ground first before you drink it, just in case.
You see one of his bushy eyebrows just like go up like
I don't know. About
starts to lift off of his head.
Like, it should be fine. It should be fine.
it just escapes from you.
Yeah.
Like,
Flies away.
like, but it should be fine. This will help you.
You might spontaneously combust.
Right.
We might have a good time.
He picks up the vial and he's like, for a second in his eyes, you're like, should you see like a suicide pill, like in case. But then he's listening to your words and he's like,
No, it should give you energy. Make you feel good. Like I said, pour it
Probably.
out first. At least the first time you take it.
Yeah, I thought it should be fine.
Yeah, if nothing happens the first time, then you're good. You're good.
So we come out of the cell, and our new friend closes it behind us, I'm guessing.
yep. It takes him a couple of seconds. Like he seems a little out of it, much more than when you first came in. He looks a little more glassy-eyed and distracted.
I look like I'm on a field trip. I sort of have sort of a bemused expression, and I'm like, I don't suppose you have some famous people down here?
we're not at liberty to discuss that.
Oh no, no, of course not. No, no, but
Oh, these people are fine. They
Wouldn't-
are completely fine. You can trust them.
maybe there's a few cells that might be worth looking at.
As you say those words, you clearly feel the tug of a strand.
Ah, yes.
Okay. He looks around for half a second and then just leans in and it's like, you did not leave this. That guy. Yeah, me. That's Gennady, the war trader.
Shocks all around, even though none of us are shocked. Except for her, who doesn't know who that is at all.
It was creeping me out.
Well, I don't know if Venus shared that information yet with the team.
Oh, yeah.
Probably didn't have a chance to.
Yeah, but this guy was here. So most of you are familiar with the name.
Okay.
Yeah. Mountain officer, mid-rank, got busted for war crimes, known sorcerer. So, Jimena, you're like, oh yeah, that's probably who the Inquisition is hitting just because of his proclivities.
So, third floor means it's sub 3, right?
Yeah, so
Okay. There's no windows anywhere in this place.
no,
Okay, got it.
it's literally a hole in the ground. It smells really bad.
Yeah.
And there is the guard tower is up top.
Mhm.
Right. So if you raise above the 3 floors and you start getting into guard barracks,
Gotcha.
don't tell that to anybody.
Oh no,
Nobody
no,
knows he's
oh,
here.
yeah.
It could spark riots.
Oh, well, thank you. We are. Yeah, no, we wouldn't want that. Yeah, no, I think we're good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it's
Leaves
start taking people out.
vibes.
She's just following along.
You
This
give
is
a
not,
little.
this
give a
is
little-
not Jenya's expertise.
Right.
Yeah.
So you get
I
taken
like how I
up.
did that at the same time, like just an hour or so after I said I was married. Cool.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
You just wrap.
Oh, by the way, do I get a hero point for taking a great risk to uncover a secret?
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah.
Yay.
Sure did.
I'm literally playing with my life
Unbeknownst
here.
to many, you helped with a Fate Witch smuggler as a Fate Witch. So basically, as the problematic merchandise. Yes.
Is there a resource book that has all the different legends from like where he is from? All the hero legends?
There should be. Let me check on that. There's some in the Nations book, right? You know those. I'm assuming she's seen those.
She said she's looking at them.
Okay. So there's some in there. That's the one that have the updated mechanics. If you want some of the fluff stuff, if you check on the OneDrive, I have the first edition Avalon book that might have some that are not statted on there. But if you see some of those legends, we can freeform stat them.
Okay. She says all her hero points are tied to those legends. She's like, I don't know what they are, so.
Oh yeah. The ones that you have on your sheet should be in the Nations book. I think the first one has that on.
Okay.
I don't know. Otherwise,
I could give you a danger point for removing this latch I just got.
Right.
Or I could take damage.
Cool.
The knights and the legends too. Like there's some of them in the main book.
Yeah, I would imagine.
If you go to page 210, you get the Knights of Avalon there.
She goes. She says thank you.
Of course.
So we get up and out, and we say thank you and hug, I guess, again,
If he's still there, hugs.
and
You don't actually see him.
Yeah.
I
Like as soon as we get outside, Humana like shivers and then like pulls a flask and a piece of food out of her many pouches. It's just like,
I say to Ryan, should you meet me again, feel free to ask if you have anything you need of.
We'll do.
I am not just a simple lawyer.
Well, I appreciate that. And for what it's worth, sorry that case was assigned to you. That's a doozy.
Oh yeah, I don't think we're going to win that one. Okay, so as soon as we like tromp around a corner, I'm like, so how many of you have ever broken open a prison? Excellent, that's one more than I thought.
I have not had to, but
I've never been in a prison before.
That's not required, but okay.
but if we break into this
If
prison,
we
we'll have
didn't-
to break in every prison.
break out of it. But I did kind of blow up Parker when I was escaping.
That might be part of our plan.
Okay.
Evie?
Have you broken into or out of a prison? She
I
does
think
a.
my R's happened today.
I'm sure at least.
Oh good,
I have-
1.5 more than I thought.
I have to say though, if we just break him out, wouldn't that put Salvador in more danger?
Well, you see, if there's a prison riot or something, that helps him as well as others get out, because I think there might be other people in there we are suspicious of. I'm guessing Yvonne clues us in on some of the other high-profile individuals that were there.
She only knew about the one.
No, on the crows.
There's a
Oh,
couple
that's right.
carrying
That's right. We're supposed to.
So, if we can start a riot, which apparently didn't sound like it'd be too hard to do.
I mean, I can start a riot anywhere.
Right.
Yes, but if we can start a distraction for that, we may be able to help bust out a bunch more of these dudes. And if we can get out our guy, yay. If we can get out that Montaigne dude, that puts him in favor territory. Yeah, I know.
Then
That puts-
roll me a wits plus scholarship if you have.
I have no scholarship.
Yeah.
That's
I
not
figured.
my forte.
I figured.
That puts him in debt to our master.
You've heard the name Giganti. This is the kind of man that your country despises.
That man belongs in there
He's the worst kind of godless
to
heathen,
rot
and he does blood magic.
for all of his terrible
Rips
doings.
portals, and he apparently poisoned an entire town full of women and children.
It is a
Oh.
horrible person.
Never gonna get
Pearson. I don't know.
Of course, Rethold, as she recounts these, some of these seem factual, some of these seem folk tales. It's like I hear he goes around and drinks blood to power his magic.
Yes, but is that worse than the church? I don't know.
Two.
Two? Yeah, they do some pretty bad shit on their own too. But they never invaded your country, so
Humanitarian switches again.
also
Yeah.
the
I'm
problem
technically Vatican crew, so I'm
the
just
problem a
like,
lot of your
I'm very conflicted
people
about it,
have
because I
with
hate them and
promoting
love them at the
magic
same time.
in the first place is that they're basically wounding the world.
Yeah.
Porté is basically you bleed yourself and then you literally cut a hole in reality so you can port somewhere else.
That hurts the wound.
They're cutting the fabric of Thea and you just keep doing it.
And it's the biggest disgrace ever.
yeah, I'm pretty sure the Nazarene would not like that.
Then, if you want to leave him there to rot, that's fine.
Oh, wonderful.
Also, I think someone with that much power owing a debt to our employer might be more useful,
You
but
can
fine.
pay it with these.
The subject.
He likes to bleed already. I'll help.
I mean,
I don't think we need to complicate the situation right now.
Yes.
to be perfectly honest, I keep him accidentally.
Evie? Evie?
What do you think?
Jimena's probably the most on the fence about this because, like, on the one hand, he's a dirty Mortang and a war criminal. On the other hand, yeah, the Inquisition.
Right? Like, I don't like him. He's a scary devil man from the country that tried to kill us. But also, fuck the church.
Yeah, fuck the church.
Fuck the Inquisition.
Evine gives a non-committal sort of.
Your input is always valuable. Okay, so aside from that, if we can get out some of the crows and then have them know that we helped with that when we show up, that puts us in the good graces.
How would we do that?
Which part?
We'll let them know.
Well, I'm pretty sure they'll be there when we bust them. So, because you and I are not the stealthy type.
No.
No.
I do not think I will participate in this.
Just barrel down the stairs.
I will bear pull down the tree.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah.
Marilena, it dawns on you that you have no idea what transpired in that cell.
I know what transpired out the cell.
Yeah?
Yeah, if you were focused on.
Evine's over here like, I saw her kiss that man.
I mean, you help keep that dude
Focus.
distracted, and now your teammates are talking about a prison break.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So I'm definitely against this. Why do we want to do this?
Well, because we want to freeze the carrion crows so we have a good in with them.
There are crows there.
Yeah, as Evine
Hey.
just told us.
And that's the only reason?
No, we also want to get Gustavo out.
What did he tell you?
I don't think all of us. No, wait, you said Gustavo.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Gustavo.
Yeah.
Gustavo is a fellow employee of Salvadora.
No.
Also, he was in the same sort of business as the captain of the ship you came in on.
See.
Which is why he's in there.
Yes. So, wait, where are we right now? Because I don't want to.
we're like in a corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking super sketchy right now.
Somewhere we don't look super.
You're
Just
meeting
like
at the
this.
corner of an alleyway.
I mean, I've got these posters.
I was like, where do I go that I don't?
I was
look
about to
sketch?
be like,
home.
I don't think there's anywhere we can go that we don't look super sketchy.
I think we need a new rule that whenever we're standing around, we just pass a bottle around to make it look like we're just drinking.
Just drinking in the streets.
Yeah.
You think it's weird that the high-profile guy is being held there?
Oh, yeah, that is weird.
I mean, it's probably because they don't want people to know that they
Yeah,
have him.
as Evine brings it up, for most of you it is weird. again, San Felipe is a major city, so it's not like, it's weird that they would have high-profile criminals. But this guy probably normally would be sent to Vanishing City, especially because Cardinal Verdugo has some pretty nice facilities to torture prisoners. That's according to the old wives' tales going around. That's literally all he does, day in and day out.
By the way, is Salvador the only person from Sophia's daughters that's in this area?
We don't, or I don't know if she's part of Sophia's daughters.
Oh, sorry, I'm asking out of character.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't know that either.
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense that she's associated with them, but I don't know if she's a
Marilena
member.
won't know.
Oh. Does Marlena know?
I don't know. Do I know?
Salvador is your primary point of contact.
Alrighty.
So would stand to reason if she's not a member, she's one step removed.
You've not been introduced to the San Felipe cell yet.
I don't know. I probably won't be to settle down first. Anyway, so we go somewhere and that's not sketchy. It's just standing around.
I mean, we can if you want. I'm happy to stand around. Should we?
Where do you want to go?
We're near a barracks. There's a bar.
There's a bar.
I turn around and go, in there for a drink, and just walk in.
Alright.
I'm still just looking around at everybody.
Asik
in this
likes
bar.
the idea and slips an arm around Evine and his arm around Marilena's shoulders and goes, "Let's go!" Very well. And in
And
they
as
go.
we walk in, and I see,
the bar full of
yes, bitch, we are friends with. And as soon as I see the first waiter or whoever, I'm like, you have been recommended by Reinhard and whatever the hell your cousin's name is, and Yevgeny. We would like a table.
The
My cousin says the booze is very good. I need to know what makes him so pale.
the bar is tended by a very tall, very
A pale
blonde,
comment.
Western lady who laughs very heartily the moment you mention Yevgeny and says, "Oh yeah, no, he was here till I guess a few hours ago."
Fortifying himself for his next shift.
Yeah, how's he looking today?
Very pale.
He looks better now. I gave him a remedy.
I mean, he was here so long, we thought we were going to charge him for 2 rooms.
Good.
Trish is like, I don't understand, but that's fine.
I look around to see if there's any of those flyers.
What is that?
Are there any of those flyers around here?
No,
Okay.
not in this spot.
Don't put up work in your leisure. Yeah, we get a table.
Absolutely.
And we continue to plot.
There's a fair amount of soldiers.
Like we get a table that's in a corner. I feel like I'm the paranoid one.
No, I asked for a good table, which means probably in a corner, so we're not
Okay.
getting bumped up.
That's
Yeah.
right. Away from the door. You're sort of tucked in. All right. What will you be having?
Well, one round of whatever Yevgeny had.
On the first round,
Oh yeah, just for the first.
you're gonna need more people in here.
No, we don't.
We'll see.
He is lightweight.
Oh yeah. And I slide coin over. I'm like,
All right, we'll do. It'll be a little bit.
thank you.
I'm like, what are we about to do?
Something. Really paying attention to us, other than staring.
Yeah, you do get a few glances because it's, the crowd is pretty homogenous outside of you guys.
And a Surin, a Vestin,
Yeah.
walk into a bar.
I mean, there's a fair amount of nationalities in there, but most of them are wearing
A uniform.
arms or a uniform, or you're some of the only that civilians.
No,
Not the
but
only
I'm
ones,
not sure
but
that was better or worse. But anyway,
Well, never expected.
that's right.
what were we talking?
So are we gonna? Are we gonna? Are we gonna do this? Like, what are we like? I'm up for doing this. All opposed?
Currently, at this point, it's only your idea.
What,
Yeah, I'm like,
what was it exactly we were supposed to do with
We're
Gustavo?
supposed
Gustavo?
we're supposed to exonerate him. We're not necessarily supposed
Yeah.
to break him out of prison. We're supposed to prove that he did it.
Look,
Is what she asked
that the
us to do.
organization did not last as long as it did by doing very dangerous, overt things.
Eugene says, I think we should talk to Salvador.
Ah, that sounds like a good idea. I hate it.
That's
Okay.
We need to drink first.
Yeah.
She says, yes.
As you chat,
I try to explain to you how I don't think our butler is out to kill us specifically.
Just gives you this, you poor, poor, slow man. You don't think, but that's what he wants you to think.
You're right. He's incredibly clever. I don't know how you see through his deceptions. Maybe you can teach me.
after a little while, the
He wants you to think.
tall vested lady comes back from the kitchen, puts 2 mugs in front of all of you, which seems to be filled with some sort of earthen brown ale.
Oh,
She has another person bring in a gigantic full roast chicken that they sit in the middle of the table.
And then I get the huge
I
smile.
pat her slowly.
this is the shit.
I feel like I claim a piece
I
quickly.
just went through like a
It'll
really
soon be
emotional
gone.
couple of, a really emotional few like hours, so I feel like I need to stress eat.
There's a third.
When do you not
Yeah.
feel like you need to start?
There's a third tavern servant that arrives with his arms charged with eggs, and basically says
And I start clapping.
they're all raw, and he says, because we've had complaint, I'm now required to ask you before I crack the eggs in the mugs whether you want the raw eggs in or
I want 2 in each.
I point and continue to clap.
Leave the eggs.
I think if this is how it's supposed to be done, I will take it that way.
Eugene says,
You're here.
Yep, they crack those raw eggs right into your beer.
oh, it's just like Papa used to do.
Yeah,
I
it
was
gets
so
very
little.
muddy and sort of smoky in there.
I think you and me reach for the mugs, and we're like, oh yeah.
I honestly don't know if I would like this or not. I mean, what do people in Dodachi drink?
Probably wine.
Not that.
Okay, but I try my best to drink it anyway.
So before the eggs are even in the mugs, I'm sure half of that chicken is gone.
Oh yeah.
I don't
I
need
know
the solid
she's
sustenance.
like licking her fingers.
Wood chipper, just.
That's right.
I seriously just grabbed like part of the breast and just like
Yeah, no, you gotta wrestle.
No, yeah, no. You need to pick what you want and take it before.
I already did.
I slide the mug over and I go,
The
"Do these
both
first."
eggs.
Okay.
Well, everyone has their own 2 mugs.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah,
everyone
no,
gets
we,
2 mugs.
everyone has 2 mugs.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone has their
Yeah.
own 2 mugs.
Doubles,
I
yeah.
asked, you know, he was like, well, you asked for the Yevgeny regimen.
Yeah.
This is round
Yeah.
1.
This is very thick.
Yeah, sometimes you need to chew
It's good to put meat on your bones.
and in your bones.
Glug and around.
The winters are harsh and long. You need the extras.
That's what they said about my father.
It isn't bad. Just
Anna's laughing as the cute. Oh yeah, her face.
Looks at Madeline and goes, are you going to drink your other one?
I think I'll stick with the one for now.
I help you with this.
Thank you.
This thing looks like it's going to be a project.
We after several minutes of trying, whoever's not finished, Rethel and Zevia will help to be like, well, whoo, good snack. Whoo.
Iberia puts down her second tank. Iberia.
Crossover.
That's
Iberia
weird.
pops down her second tankard and goes, "That was a nice light start."
That's right.
Well, we do have business elsewhere. We will thank Yev next time we see him for his good recommendations, as well as Captain Reinhardt. Come, let's go. And I leave some more tip because that was actually an excellent experience. And
I'm gonna take like one of the legs of the chicken and shoves it in her pocket.
Yeah.
Oh,
because the rest of it's
For-
gone.
for later.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's still meat on those bones. Wasted.
Jenya actually digs out the wishbone and takes that with her.
So I guess we take a circuitous route to Lady Saldana's. Salvatore, cool, yeah.
Wow.
Who's Saldana?
Zoe
Saldana?
Yeah, I'm like, that's a thing.
Is that
Cool.
a thing?
Right?
Okay.
Sounded like it.
So we get ourselves windy way to Salvador.
And we
All
come in
right.
through the back.
Right, the back entrance.
That's right. We're learning that butler stuff.
Yeah.
And we find whoever's attending the gate back there.
They actually wave you in.
And
If they see you, and you take the sort of servant's entrance out to the back room,
Yeah.
which is currently empty. So as you get ushered in, you're basically asked to grab a seat. There's some light refreshments.
She's getting better at sitting.
What's the name again? The
there's
one
lots
that
of belching.
helps Saldana.
Oh, they.
Their name.
Luna Maria.
There you go, yeah.
Maria.
Not there either.
Okay.
But the servant assures you that Salvador will be there.
I'm quietly belching, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
And doing other things, I suppose.
Well, I'm maintaining, but there's definitely like it's trying to make room for itself. You know, it's good.
That's right.
Very content.
Before we move into this next part, Amanda, how are we doing?
Well, that's like, she says she's pretty sleepy.
Let's just pause it here and pick back at this conversation for next time.
All right.
Need you input for it so that Amanda can go to bed.
She has to cuddle up with her dragon, so.
Ew.
Her, right?
The roaring.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
I was trying to figure out a way
Yeah.
to put Smaug and Glenn together.
Glows.
Loud.
Glown.
Loud.
Well,
But otherwise, we're good. We've got our dinner party / exchange.
Yep.
We've got our names.
Mm-hmm.
And
Are we back on Seven Seas next week?
That's correct.
Yes.
Okay. I am making large strides on the vampire game. So we will be talking more about that in the future, either via Facebook or text or what have you.
okay.
No, but that's why I'm deeper into the research where I'm trying to figure out what plugs I want to have in, so that'll let me know what year we drop into.
Perfect.
okay.
Yeah.
I think that's help me decide what I'm playing.
But it sounds like after next week we're skipping, or no?
Yeah, next week is the second.
Yeah, so next week's the second, so we're good there.
The
And
9th.
The 9th.
Is there something on the 9th?
Still good on the 9th, or?
Yeah, we're still good on the night.
Okay, cool.
And it's the 23rd. Or 20.
Yeah, 23rd I will not be here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because 16
And then-
will be here.
Okay, cool. Oh, so we will start Vampire before the new year.
amazing.
Woo!
Whoa.
Woo!
What's with this being efficient stuff? This is not us.
I know. All right, cool. So now we've got all that settled. Ah,
Yes,
nice early ending evening.
Good night.
Night, Rabbit.
everyone say good night. Good night, everybody.
Good night. And then say good night, Internet.
Good night.